we're talking about healing and being connected, right? About your energies and how to listen to your energies and what those energies mean depending on where you are or how comfortable you are with certain things. So let's talk more about healing.
Okay.
What is healing?
Healing is bringing the body back into a state of balance, and the mind and the spirit and the psychological systems, because you are not just your body. So if you are having a spiritual challenge or an emotional challenge or a mental challenge, they also have to be addressed as well as the physical. And so there are many ways of learning energetically what that is, through muscle testing, kinesiology, through dowsing. There's many different tools of dowsing, and now we're actually using our body as a dowsing tool to find out where the imbalances are.
But yet, in order to receive healing, the healing that you're talking about, you have to be grounded. To some point,
You have to be accepting.
You have to be
because we all have destiny. And your pain may be a part of your destiny. My pain, I come from a place of abuse, you know, from an ex-marriage. But that was, I would not be here. I would not have lost my power, regained my power. I would go back and do it 100 times more for what I received and what I learned and the path it put me on, because it kept me on my destiny.
So you help people journey within themselves.
Yes.
To get to unlock each and every door to find what?
Basically, when you go into a state, a trance, a very deep, relaxed state, then you can really notice, oh, I have this wall in my heart. Oh, you know. And then once you recognize that, once you see it and really feel how it's affecting you, when you come out of the experience, you know how much weight that's having on you. So now there are a lot of ways of addressing that. There are energy medicines, there's EFT, there's going back in and really addressing, doing a regression back to the time when that wall was created and seeing what was the experience, and do you really need it now? Because chances are you don't. It's an illusion. You put it up for protection on something maybe 20 years ago that isn't even in your life anymore. So it's all about balance. Holistic healing is really about bringing all of you into balance.
How do you become aware of this daily in your routine? When you wake up, when you go to work, when you're home with your family, your loved ones, how do you become aware of this? How do you interact with these energies and learning and grounding yourself, balancing yourself constantly?
So when I work with people, the first thing I tell them is to learn about heart math. Heart math was created by a neurocardiologist, and it's about the state that you're in. And you're either in a state of low coherence, high coherence, or neutral. And what happens is when outside stimulus activates a memory, you either go in one of these states, and there's a lot of them, okay, from low to high, all right? Well, what happens when you drop down into a low state, and it depends on how low you go, what you're reacting to, what kind of trauma. What he has found is that if you put your hand back on your heart, or you breathe through your heart, you vision it, and you think of something that you really love, within 30 seconds, you'll go right back up into high coherence. So when I work with people, the first thing that I suggest is that they learn heart math, and they go on the webpage and they learn about it so their ego understands what's happening here. So when you get angry, frustrated, you know, don't feel right about something, you stop and you say, okay, I'm in low coherence, and you just get yourself into high. Once you feel comfortable with that, you stop and you say, what exactly, if I was to put it into one sentence, was the reason that I just went into low coherence? Did someone not listen to me? Okay. So, or whatever it was. And usually you will find that there's a same thing happening. It's I'm not being acknowledged, I'm not being recognized, I'm not being heard, if that's the issue. Okay, so now you know that's the psychological blockage that drops you down into low coherence. And now there are other techniques that are very easy and simple that you can change those. There are a lot of ways, just music, you know yourself. You put boogie beat music on and you're like, you know, you put something real and you're like, use it. Use those are tools. If you're, don't be listening to boogie beat music. You know, drink chamomile tea. Do the things that give you the control to control the physical, emotional, spiritual, and your mental state.
You are the creator of a Facebook page called Divine Time. Tell me about that. You share a lot of insight about being grounded, about what it means to heal, what it means to have a spiritual guide.
Yeah, and I've gained a little bit of a following there because I think people every day need to be reminded that they're not their job, they're not their paycheck, they're not late for work, that they're a spiritual being. And if they take the time to stop and think about that, they can be in a better space that day.
And that is very interesting because you would share something about yourself, something personal, and at the end of the day, you'll bring it to some conclusion of this is what
Why.
This means. This is the why. You give them the why, and in a sense where you are at peace with the why, that it is out of my control. This is part of my destiny. Therefore, I am to just accept it, embrace it.
Because I got the strength, knowledge, and ability from the experience, there's nothing negative about it anymore. It's only when we don't get what it was given to us for that we feel unfulfilled and we feel like, why? So for me, I immediately go in and I journey and I look and I see, why do I need this?
To me, everything that you said, I feel like the purpose of it is to control your emotions.
No, you don't want to control them.
You do not want to control your emotions?
No, you want to change them. You want to transform them.
So you're saying there is control from losing control?
You don't lose control. You have more control because your intuition has more information for you that is going to make it a sacred experience than just an egoic one. You're going to fulfill your destiny along with getting what you need.
So for those who are listening to us, Kendra, and they're saying, okay, once again, back to the New Year's resolution, the hopes and dreams that the New Year brings. And people have their list. They want to do the check marks on their list. How do you tie to them? How do they tie into this conversation?
Intend that my new year follow my destiny. That's my resolution. I look back not at what was wrong from last year, because everything that was wrong from last year was the physical manifestation of the spiritual experience I needed to have to expand and become more compassionate and conscious. The ego wants to say, oh, there was all kinds of bad crap back there. This year we got to get rid of that. Okay, so what's just happened? Energetically, you are magnetizing what you need to learn, and your ego is saying, no, we don't want to learn that. No, we don't want to learn that. No, we don't want to learn that. And you are drawing the same thing to you again and again and again and again. Change that vibration, and you will attract something different, your new lesson. And there's one thing energetically I want to leave you with. Sacrifice, the energy of sacrifice has no reward. So when you're giving and giving and giving, and you are not allowing anyone to give back because it feels so good, you are not allowing them to feel good. And then they're not going to feel good, and they're not going to appreciate everything you're doing. And when they walk away, you're going to stand there and go, I did everything for them, and they just had it. Because sacrificing yourself has no reward. You are telling the universal forces to not bring you anything. You want to give and you don't want to get, and that depletes us and it makes us feel unworthy, and we just need to understand how that works so we can change it in our lives.